and the book that's coming out October 19th, like I said, and this, as I think, is the final cover, which I'm real excited about. I forgot to mention on the marketing part of this, I did meet with Loretta Hand and went to one of her workshops in Powder Springs, Georgia, which I would highly recommend as well. She does a lot of writing gatherings and has a lot of insight in various aspects of books. And she urged me to get a website and to do it professionally, and she said, you know, everything opens up when you do this. And that was sort of not something that I had ever thought of. I kind of thought of websites as sort of old hat and static, and she convinced me that no, that is not the case, and that, you know, she's not big on blogging because she thinks it's that you can do as effective marketing yourself by email newsletters that are once a month, and that you're giving away your writing when you blog, and she has a lot of arguments against it. But anyway, so she hooked me up with a person who is helping me with the design, who specializes not just in the graphics part of it, but in drawing customers in, which is why this is being videotaped. This is so not me. It's amazing. But the deal about websites now is, some of you may have read recently that Google is all about drawing people in through videos. They don't do it through pictures anymore, and they don't do it through text. It is videos. So you have to have video on your website. And she convinced me that even though it's a professional website and I'm trying to solicit professional work, that you have to show a personal side to yourself, that's very sought after and that's very accepted. And in my case, it's sort of the kind of writing I do anyway. You know, it's sort of a strength to be personal. So toward that end, I'm having videos on there of me singing at our church, and of my child scoring in basketball, and of my other child reading at the creative writing department's, ASFA's creative writing department thing. And I hadn't got one of Mark yet, my husband, but I probably will. And the latest thing, which you probably know, is all of these things can't just be posted on their website. They have to be posted on YouTube. So you are out there for the entire world. And I'm like, once we got to that point, I was like, we really want to put me singing on YouTube? I was not real sure about that. But if you Google enough, you will now find me singing on YouTube. So I'm waiting for people to write really nasty comments about what is this woman doing? Anyway, but it's kind of fun too. So that is being done right now. She is in the midst of putting all that together for me. It took me forever to write the copy for it, but I got it to her. And the book is, as Loretta explained to me, the book is one cool thing on the website. It's not supposed to be the whole website about that. It's supposed to be a way for me to promote myself as a writer and as somebody that is out there, you know, at your service. So it is just like one part of it, and I'm still waiting to hear from Hachette and Joanne about whether they want me to do book signings. And Jennifer has so kindly asked me to do a book signing for the conference this fall, which I'm thrilled to do, if they will allow me. I'm still waiting to hear. You know, they probably will, just, but I don't know, because I'm not the author, and I'm very aware of that. But I have had some other folks ask. There's a conference in Hueytown that asked me, and of course my bookstore, my hometown bookstore in Starkville, Mississippi wants to see me. So, you know, let's see, anything else? Oh, the fun stuff. The back flat photo, which may or may not be used, because they're going to have Joanne's picture on the front, they're going to have another picture of Joanne on the back, so they're not sure if they're going to use her for the little bio thing. If they would use another picture, and if they don't use a picture of her, then they wouldn't use one of me, because that would just be weird. So, but in the meantime, they told me I had to have a professional photographer, and I needed professional makeup, and I needed hair and all this stuff. I didn't even do that when I got married. I mean, I had to do what? It was so much fun. I hired Gary Clark, who is a Southern Living photographer, who is, you know a million wonderful photographers, but the reason I asked Gary was because he has this additional talent of being able to make people feel at ease and he can talk to anybody. I went to Brazil with him one time, and literally he had people eating out of his hand. He was taking Polaroids of their grandkids, and when we left, they were all like, "Gary, Gary!" And I'm like, "That's him." You know, so they didn't know me from Adam. But so anyway, Gary shot it, and he found this professional makeup people here in town who actually travel and do movie sets and all kinds of things, and they are wonderful. I have so enjoyed getting to know those folks. The name of the company is Birmingham Glam, if you ever have such an occasion to get your photo taken. And so, you know, I mean, for a middle-aged, overweight person who never had false eyelashes, I thought that turned out pretty good. And then, here's some more good ones that, you know, I thought, well, we can use that, that'd be all right. Ooh, I don't like it being blown up. You can see everything. Okay, but I thought I would share with y'all the outtakes. They're not so good.
Okay, great.
Get there. There we are. This is them. That's Jessica McGettigan, who is the head person of this Birmingham Glam thing. And I went to her house, and you know, I mean, seriously, they did all this stuff to me. They put this moisturizer that, you know, was like $200, and I got them during the holiday discount rate. They were doing like specials for Christmas, and that really didn't cost me much. And she confessed about halfway through, she said, "We just like you, so we're putting extra stuff on." I'm like, just lay it on with a spatula, honey, because they were used to having, you know, these 20-year-olds that were wanting to be models, and they were getting married and stuff, and then I come up there, and, you know, I'm like, just do what you can. Just do what you can, you know. And Gary, too. Gary was hilarious. He would say, I said, "Now, Gary, I think we know that we just want to shoot from here on up, you know. We don't need anything but other ways." And he was so great. He said, "Okay, now, here's what you need to do." He said, "I want you to bend at your knees." And so I bent at my knees. He said, "Okay, now, I want you to stick your neck out like a chicken." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Now, don't smile so big." And so I smiled, and he'd say, "Okay, now, look natural." And I said, "Do you mean to tell me all those models have got their neck sticking out like a chicken?" He said, "Oh, that just comes naturally to them." So it was fun. Let's see. Okay, more of that. Look at the ringlets. And these are the outtakes. Y'all look at that expression. Oh my goodness, that is not good. I look sleepy. Look at that one. That's terrible. The angled agony. I mean, I was trying to tilt my head like a model. That did not work. There's another great expression.
Well, that is good. That's good.
And the gray hair is showing. And that's Gary. And that's pretty much it. That's what I got.
Maybe a few questions, so are you cool with that?
Sure.
Okay. So you would have any questions?
Would you do it again?
Yes. In fact, I hope to do it again. That's the whole point of the website and all that.
Well, I wanted to be sure that the experience was not too overwhelming.
No,
It might even be easier the next time.
there were some things that I would do differently. Yes, I would, and I know now from all of the web search and everything that I did that that's why they all say at the outset, put a schedule up there and stick to the schedule. And honestly, I don't know that it ever would have worked with any writer for Joanne to have a schedule, because as she will say about herself, I have never led a structured moment in my life. And she hasn't. And she's gotten a lot done because of it, you know, because she is that kind of larger-than-life person. But it made for some interesting times. But I'm glad that, you know, I probably wouldn't have gotten the job if I hadn't been willing to do that, because I didn't have any kind of background, and I didn't have any kind of leverage, and I didn't have any, you know, best-selling books I could point to, and so. But I would say next time.
You were going to make her fit your schedule.
I'm sorry, what?
I said you weren't going to make her fit your schedule. You
No.
were flexible enough you could just go.
No, I worked with her the way she needed me to.
Did she tell anything, and I know you can't let us know if she did, about her affairs?
Yes, she did.
Is it in the book?
It is in the book. You would not believe how Joanne is an extremely beautiful woman. I mean, now she is still. That picture on that cover was taken a few months ago. I mean, she is still drop dead gorgeous. And I like to say her age, but she's not hiding it, but she is well into her senior years. And I mean, you know, it's bad when you go and you are intimidated. You know, you're about 30 years younger or whatever, and you're like, I don't measure up physically to this lady. But she works at it. I mean, she exercises every day, and she eats right and all of that stuff. So, what was your point? What was your question? I'm sorry, did I
And
answer?
for guys.
She does talk about, yeah, she does. She talks about Charlie. She talks about other people. They were engaged. It was not just, as the movie depicts, this kind of, one night deal and all that, but no, they were very much in love at one point. So, and she was pretty forthcoming about it.
Is she from the King Ranch, King family? Is that
No, she is not. In fact, she has a joke about that, which I probably can't replicate, but it's like she married a king who didn't own an inch of the ranch, and she married another guy that had some famous connection, and she said, I always let people know I don't have any connection to the King Ranch at all. She is, however, related to George Washington. So she, good stock.
I guess my question is mostly kind of how you did it and how you wrote. You said something about a schedule, and you talked about writing during kids' events and that sort of thing. But how scheduled were you? What kind of deadline did you have for yourself? Did you say, I'm going to write X number of words a week, or how did that work?
It really depended on, we did it by chapters more than anything, and we would concentrate, or try to concentrate on a topic when we talked, but as I said, Joanne would veer off into other stuff, which is why I would tape record everything, so that I would have that for later. And I would try to get a chapter done, and then we would walk that through and try to get that to a finished point. But really and truly, it took Joanne deciding she was going to put her focus on the book for it to really happen, because we just dragged on forever with the first few chapters, over and over and over, and I was like, we really need to move on, because that deadline was looming for me, and I kept saying, and I've got assurances from the literary agent involved that don't worry about the deadline and blah blah blah, and I did though. I mean, I could not worry about it. So.